Hey, what's cracking guys? I don't have any more Black 2 and White 2 battles for now, but I do have this cool battle against CryogonAlan, pun somewhat intended, because he's using what he refers to as an Ice Gym team, and knowing that Alabama Snow will be most likely a part of it, I decided to bring my own weather team that I have only just made and see how it performs. Let's get into it. I lead off with Polarity, specially defensive Empoleon, because like Hippowdon, it can set up a Stealth Rock, but unlike Hippo, it can take a hit from every single thing on his team, including Specs Rotom. Unsurprisingly, he leads off with his Weather Inducer, but then immediately switches to Regice, not sure why, probably to avoid potential Scald Burns. Meanwhile, I set up my rocks as planned, which, needless to say, are gonna be extremely helpful against this team, because everything on it takes 25% from them on the switch, and then switch to my Assault Vest Gigalith to take an obvious Thunderbolt. I will tell you more about it in a second, because right now, I decide to make a ballsy play and switch to Nidoking predicting his Alabama Snow, because seeing how well I took a Thunderbolt, he isn't just gonna stay in and let his Regice die, is he? Oh yes, he is, and the fact that he just went for a Blizzard tells me that either A, he's a good player and predicted that, or B, he's just clicking buttons and I'm trying way too hard. Either way, I just go back to Gigalith, which is really tired of people using it as a suicide Stealth Rock lead. With base 135 attack and a Sand Force, it is a powerhouse, and with 6th gen blessing in form of special defense boost and assault vest, it can also take every single special attack in UU. Stop using it as a suicide lead, please. But you know what it's also tired of? Things that rest off at 95% of health and then survive a hit with that 5% they just recovered. I mean, what the fuck is going on? Help me, please, I can't even. What? No, you're not killing me with a damn Blizzard. Die, please. Thank you. Dear Lord, what was that all about? Anyways, Mega Alabama Snow comes in to finish me off with an Ice Shard, except it doesn't. See, that only proves my point. Stop underestimating Gigalith, it's tired of the disrespect and this is coming through with or without the sand. So he might not realize it yet, but Gigalith pretty much won me this game right here, because not only I have won the weather war, but also I have my rocks up, both of my walls are at full and ready to stall out everything on his team if needed. I go to Hippowdon to set up my sand right away and toxic his Avalugg to make sure that my rocks stay up no matter what he does. Realizing that he's on the losing side in this matchup, he eventually switches to CryogonAlan, which I am guessing is another rapid spinner on his team, but my Empoleon is ready to take hits from this thing all day, and I don't care about his light screen, because all I want to do is shuffle his team around. I drag out his Rotom, and I have got to give Alan some credits. He makes a good play right there by going for a Blizzard predicting my Hippowdon, which I don't really need anymore now that his Avalugg is significantly weakened down, but it gets to see another day as he misses. Seeing no leftovers, I make a bold assumption that he's choiced in some way and switch back to Empoleon as he goes back to Avalugg for some reason, and after Stealth Rock damage, he gets off the last Rapid Spin before I finish him off with a Scald and a Sandstorm damage. Then he goes back to Rotom, but I don't fall for this bait again, stay in this time and set up my rocks right back up while taking next to no damage in exchange. Then I just go for a Scald as he stays in, probably predicting me to roar him out, but I know that he will have to switch out anyway and I don't see a reason to help him out with that. Instead, I just spam Scalds as he switches to CryogonAlan and then double switches back to Rotom, predicting some kind of switch on my part, but again, my plan is just to shuffle his team around until he does something about it. Certainly, I am not getting his Cloyster get of a free Shell Smash, I don't know why he even attempted that. I drag out his CryogonAlan once again, but this time I decide to switch to Hippowdon predicting him to go for a Recover, but he probably doesn't have it because he just goes for a Freeze Dry again, which only does just over half anyway and goes down to the Sandstorm damage. Now he goes back to Cloyster and takes me out with an Icicle Spear, but then I bring in Phantom for an easy revenge kill. As usual though, Phantom turns out to be not quite as happy as I thought, and 50 base power return does a pitiful damage, but it is just enough to be a 2-hit KO from this range joined with a Sandstorm damage, and without any boosts, Icicle Spear is not enough to take me out in one hit, so we end up with a double down on the following turn, and his Rotom doesn't have enough health to survive another Stealth Rock switch in, so that is the game. Good game, Alan. As I have already said, Gigalith leaving an Ice Shot from your Abama Snow and taking it out pretty much sealed the game for me. There was nothing you could do after that point. The one thing I want to say is that rock weakness is really a major problem of your team, and I feel that if you have brought a Mamoswine instead of Regice or CryogonAlan, this battle could have ended up a lot closer. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video, in which case, like, dislike, comment, do your thing, and as always, I see you all next time.